So welcome to our first day here in the fall 2020 second session. So we're here Tuesday, October 20th. So we're glad you're all here today. Now, first off, does anybody like spooky or scary stories? Anybody like scary stories?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
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 Well, don't worry. We're not going to read anything too scary, but we are going to look at a couple of ghost stories or a couple of kind of fun little stories to start this session. But if you notice this magazine over here on the right side, this is kind of an old magazine. We're probably not reading anything necessarily like that. But anyway. So anyway, the idea here is we are going to read a little bit here at the beginning of this session. So we're glad everybody could join us here. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is, because we do have some new students joining us this session, we're going to take a moment and just review how to use web for our class. Then we'll do a little greetings. And then I thought for the next couple of weeks, we would learn some new expressions, especially expressions that connect to Halloween. You know, Halloween is coming up. It's kind of a fun time, right, for children and sometimes for adults too. And then we're going to introduce one of our reading activities using the Burlington English program, and especially what we call the Readers program. So that's going to be kind of exciting here for us here in this session. All right, so I'm going to switch presentations here for just a moment. Okay, so give me just a second here, guys. And I want to bring up the how to use WebEx presentation. Now, again, for some of you, this is just a review, kind of a repeat. But again, we have some new students in the session, so I just want to review this information very quickly. Okay, so again, if you're using WebEx on the computer, it's not so bad. You can use, I'm using a headphone. If you see, I'm using a headset here. If you're using a headset, you'll see that everything, all of the functions of WebEx are pretty much there on the screen. But for example, if you are using your phone, let's talk for just a moment. During our class meeting, we want to make sure that on the iPad, that our phone mic is turned off when we're not speaking. Okay, so if we're not speaking, let's make sure the microphones are turned off. But if we want to speak, again, there will be time for us to speak a little bit today. And again, we will do some activities throughout the session. Then you can turn your mic on, and then the microphone is green. Now, if you're using the computer, you can see this over on the right side with the participant window. So if you click on participants, again, if you're using the phone, it looks like a little person at the top of the screen. Or if you're using the computer, you can see all of the participants. So like, for example, we have 19 people here in our meeting, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, another thing we want to just remind everybody is to keep your camera turned off. And the only reason we do that is to help with your internet connection. So if you have a bad internet connection, sometimes if everyone has their camera turned on, that can make the internet kind of difficult. So in this case, we're going to keep our camera off. Now you'll get to see me, right? That's okay. Students said they prefer to see the teacher at least. But I do want to show you that when you're keeping your camera off, okay, you still will be able to see the person speaking, either in a little box, of course, what's on the screen. All right, and then if you want to change the size, so if you're using your phone, so for example, if you've got your smartphone, you can tilt the phone on its side. So that way it makes the screen bigger, so kind of like this. And then you can also use your fingers. So you can use your fingers to make the screen bigger. Right, so you can see that handsome man there in the picture. Wonderful photo, right? Don't you think? Okay, so anyway, you can see a closer picture of me. And then finally, you will notice that we do use the chat box here in this class. Now, if you're using the phone, the chat box are those three little dots at the bottom. You click on those three dots, and then you will see kind of the control panel, the dashboard. And there where it says chat with everyone, that's where we chat. Okay, so that's where we use the chat feature here in the class. So everyone, let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration. So we're going to say hello in the chat box. So let's do that now. I'll be the first one. So I'm going to turn on the chat and I'm going to say hello to everyone. And again, we're going to get another chance to use it in just a moment. But everybody, put a little hello message there for us and then click on send. And let's see everyone responding. All right. All right. Looks like just about everybody here. Okay. I don't know, Vladimir, do you see the hello, the chat feature there? Let's see if we see you there. Let's see who's here.
Hello.
So, Vladimir, do you know how to use the chat there?
Hello.
Yeah, so it's there on your computer screen. It might be at the top or at the bottom where it says chat.
Oh my God.
Did you see my message?
Let me try.
Yeah, so I sent you a hello message.
Oh my God.
There you go, Vladimir. Now you figured it out. Yeah, now you got it. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, so it looks like everybody now has figured it out. Okay. All right, so it looks like everyone has figured out the chat feature at this point. All right. So we've done the chat box. And when we're finished, if you're using the phone, you can use the back button to go back to the main screen. Okay, let me close that. All right, so that's just a little introduction on how to use the WebEx program. So I'm going to switch back now to my presentation because we're going to use the chat box again in just a moment. Okay. All right, so there we go. That's how we use WebEx. Now, again, if you're new to our class, what we normally like to do is we like to do a little greetings. So that's going to be our next activity. And again, since this is the first day of our new session, we're going to welcome everyone to the class. So again, we're going to introduce ourselves. Now, as you can see, we have 18, 19 participants. So we don't have time necessarily for everybody to just say hello on the camera. So again, what I would like for you to do very quickly is just in the chat box, tell us your name, your country of origin, so where you came from, and what are your favorite shoes. So for example, are your favorite shoes Nike, or do you like wearing dress shoes, or do you like wearing flip-flops? So how about in the chat box, you tell us what country you're from, where you're from, your name, where you're from, and tell us your favorite shoes. Okay. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody here. Oh, there's Elaine. There's Elena's answer. I see it now. Okay. Shoes with heels. Okay. All right. Looks like everybody has responded at this point. All right. Excellent. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. So again, if you're new to our class this session, I just wanted to show you that every week we try to do a new expression. So everyone, you can practice this expression. Again, if you're new to the class, you don't have to use your microphone for this particular part. But if you want to practice, you can say it with me. Okay, so let's say this new expression together. Okay, a skeleton in the closet. Everyone, let's say that. Ready? A skeleton in the closet.
Skeleton in the closet.
Yeah, you might say, Mr. John, what's a skeleton? Well, if you look at the bottom of the picture there, you see that person opening the door. So what is a skeleton? Who can tell us?
Bones.
The bones. The bones.
Yeah, the bones in the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you get an X-ray and they see the bones inside of you, that's your skeleton. Now you might say, Mr. John, I don't have any skeletons in my closet. That would be weird. That would be strange. Well, that's because the expression has a particular meaning. So let's look at the meaning of it. So it says, a skeleton in the closet means that you have a secret from your past that you don't want people to know about. So it's a secret that you don't want people to know. Some dark secret that maybe would give you some problems or trouble. So, but I thought this cartoon, if you look at the cartoon on the right side, I thought this was kind of funny. See the little boy? He's talking to his father and he says, I'm considering a run for class president. Do we have any skeletons in our closet I should know about first? Come on. Do you think a little kid would have skeletons in his closet? You think a little kid would have big secrets?
No.
Yeah, probably not. But for example, politicians, right? Sometimes politicians have skeletons in their closet and they don't want people to know, right? Some secret about their past. Now, of course, I'm not going to ask you guys if you have any skeletons in your closet. You don't have to tell me, okay? But I did want to ask. So again, what I like to do is introduce a new expression, and then I like to ask the students a question. So here's a question that I would like to ask you. So, are you good at keeping secrets? Can you keep a secret for a long time? Or are you terrible at keeping secrets and have to tell someone? Now, you can use your chat box, or if you would like to use the microphone. So, Elaine, I hear you there. You say you're good at keeping secrets?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Really? So I could tell you anything and you would keep my secret?
Yes.
Interesting.
Tell me. Tell me.
I can't. There are too many people here. I can't tell you my secrets. That would be bad. All right. Okay, so Elaine says she's good. All right. Okay. Lilia says she can do it. Okay. Shiho says she can keep secrets. Fatiha says for years. Wow, Fatiha. Maybe I should let you keep my secrets. All right.
What?
Hey,
What about you? Are you good at keeping secrets, Rihanna?
some secret is I can keep it, and some of them didn't need to keep it.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. Is anybody terrible at keeping secrets? Gisela says it's hard, right?
For me, if it is a secret, and the person in front of me tells me that it will keep it between us.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a real secret, yes, I keep it
Okay.
for years and years. But if it is just a discussion and it's not a real secret, yes, I can tell it. It's not
Okay.
a problem.
So Saba, so wait a minute. So Saba says it depends on the secret. Wait a minute, that's not fair.
Yeah.
No, that's
For
not
me-
fair.
Sometimes for me, I
Yeah.
feel I can keep the secret, but
Okay.
sometimes if I don't say, I feeling like something make a hair shiver my on my body. I should say, yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, if you look in the chat box, Asami says she can't keep a secret, so don't talk to Asami. She cannot keep secrets. Okay, so don't tell her. I like Luana's answer. Luana says she's good at keeping secrets because she forgets them. So that's interesting. Okay, I like this. So I can tell you and then you just forget about it. What kind of friend are you, Luana? That's not a very good friend. You just forget what I tell you? Okay. Okay, Elena says she can keep secrets a long time. So that's good. I like this. Everyone here is saying they can keep secrets. Seeing Lee says she can keep secrets. What about you, Vladimir? Can you keep a secret? Can I tell you a secret, Vladimir? Are you good at keeping secrets?
I prefer keep my secret.
You do. Okay, so I won't talk to you then. Okay, I get it. I get it, Vladimir. I see. Okay. But I like this. Everyone's like, okay, Jamila says she'll tell her sisters. Yeah, family's good for telling secrets too. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I am not good at keeping secrets. When somebody tells me something secret, I'm kind of like this. Are you like that? You want to tell people, I've got the secret, I've got to share it. Yeah, I'm not very good at it, so don't talk to me.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, don't tell me any secrets, okay? Yeah, especially when it comes to something personal. Okay. All right. Well, guys, it's interesting always to see. So I like this. It depends on what the secret is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for giving me your true answers there. So I know who my friends are in this class. Okay. Well, once again, guys, our new expression for the day is a skeleton in the closet. A skeleton in the closet. Now, of course, when we talk about skeletons in the closet, we usually mean like very serious secrets. Okay. So again, that's probably why we hear this expression with, like movies and with politicians, again, serious secrets. Yeah. If you tell somebody, for example, I secretly like chocolate ice cream. Yeah. That's not a skeleton in the closet. Okay. That's not a big secret. But if you have a big, big secret, especially one from your past, many, many, many years ago, those would be examples of skeletons in the closet. Okay, well, I wanted to share that expression with you today. Since Halloween is coming, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about. Okay. Okay. Now, guys, what I'd like to do with the remainder of our time is to take a few minutes and introduce us to Burlington English. So again, we have some new people here in the class. And hopefully you had a chance to watch the videos on Burlington English. But I want to introduce everyone to a feature of Burlington English that we have not used in this class. And the good news is it's now available on your phone, on the iPad, on their computer. It's available on every device. It's called the Burlington English Reader. The Burlington English Reader. So what I would like to do this morning is to go ahead and introduce, again, for some of our new students, just to review how to enter your username and information, and then take a few minutes and look at the reader function on the Burlington English screen. Now, some of you will probably use the reader on your phones or your iPads or something like that. I have made a short video that I'm going to send to you in your email. If you want to watch the video, it will show you how to use the app on your phone, how to use the reader function on your phone. Okay. So again, I have created a video for you, and you can watch that when we're finished here today. So now again, for our new students. So for our new students, what I want to just mention, and this is again a reminder for everybody, when I send you homework in your email, what I will do is send you the link to any specific Burlington English activities, but you need to remember to log in. Now, for example, I'm going to use my username and password here, but again, for all of you here in the class, you might remember that your username is going to begin with Kenton. Kenton is the name of our county. So Kenton dot, right, the dot, and then the username that we gave you. Now, last week, for the new students, I sent you a reminder. If anybody here is having any Burlington problems, please let me know. Again, I think just about everybody was here for the first session, maybe except a couple of people. So I will send you that information again if you have any problems. But I'm going to go ahead and use my username to get into the Burlington English program. Okay. Now, the link that I just included actually is going to take us directly to the reader. So I'm going to back up for just a moment, and I'm going to show you. Let me back up here. Everyone's seeing that. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to back up here. I'm going to show you where the reader is located on the screen. Okay, so let me back here. Okay. And I'm going to close this just for a moment. All right. Now, if you'll notice here, guys, on the screen, there's a picture. It looks like a little picture of a house. That is the home screen. So that will take you back to the main screen. Now, again, for our new students, most of the time when we do Burlington activities, we use the courses feature. But actually for these activities, for the beginning of our session, we're going to be using what's called the readers feature. Now, I know a couple of you, maybe you used the readers feature in the beginning classes, but this is the first time we've used them here. So let's go ahead and demonstrate the readers feature first. So when you click on readers, Burlington English has all of these great stories, and many of them are very popular, sort of maybe a little bit older American stories. For example, some of you might remember, I don't remember who was in my class last year, but we did a story called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow last year. And if you have never read the story, I would recommend it. In fact, we might read it again. I'm thinking about maybe doing it next week. So we'll see. We'll see. But we are using the intermediate readers here that you see on the screen. Now, again, I will send you this link in your email, but we are actually using this new reader. It's called a ghost collection. Now, I asked you if you like scary stories. Now, guys, this is Burlington English, so it's probably not that scary, okay? But I thought it might be a good idea to do a little bit of reading in our first couple of weeks. I think that's always a good thing for us to practice with. So, because again, my experience is students don't have a lot of opportunity to read. The Burlington English readers really have some really nice stories that you can practice reading. And again, a lot of these are famous stories. Sometimes they make them into movies, for example. So maybe you've seen movies. But let me just demonstrate here with the story that we're going to be looking at. The collection is called a ghost collection. Okay, now I'm going to click on the continue button. Okay, and actually I'm going to go back to the original table of contents. Okay, because what I would like to do here this morning is just kind of introduce how the reader works and maybe do a little bit of reading here while we're together. So first off, you'll notice here on the main page, if you're using the computer, again, I'm just demonstrating here on how to use it on the computer. You can actually use your mouse and move the little cursor, the mouse, the finger that you see here on the screen, to the different stories and chapters for each story. So if you notice in this particular collection, we have 3 stories. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, see if we can see that a little bit better. See if I can move it. There we go. So we have one story called The Ghosts of Dodson Hall. Okay, so that's the first one you see there. Zoom in a little bit better there. Okay, hopefully you can see that.
Yeah.
The Priest Hole, so that's the next story. And then the last story in the collection is called Sarah's New House. Now, we are not going to read all of the stories. We're going to maybe do one story from this collection and maybe go back and do a different story. But the story we're going to do for this first week is called The Ghosts of Dodson Hall. And again, you can click on each chapter. There are 4 chapters, 4 parts. Each one's very short. It's about 2 pages, but you'll see in just a moment it's not very long. And when you click on each one, it will take you to that particular part. So now for homework, I'll go ahead and tell you now, for homework, we're going to read all 4 chapters. We're going to read all 4 parts. It's not very long. And the good news is when you're reading, actually there is a nice little kind of feature that I want to show you here that will help you in your reading at home. Okay, now I'm going to zoom back out for just a moment. So now when you look at the screen, so everyone, you see my screen here, you should be able to see 2 pages, right? The first page on one side and the other page here on the other side. Now, you can do that, of course, on your phone, too. So if you're using your phone, you can always use your fingers and pinch and zoom. In fact, you can do that now if you want to with the WebEx feature. But what I want to show you is, if you notice my my little cursor on the screen, it looks like a little magnifying glass. If you click on the magnifying glass just with your mouse, notice how the story gets bigger. Everyone see that? So notice how the story now is just 1 page. Okay? Now, what I want to demonstrate here this morning is one of the nice features of Burlington is that the story, you can actually listen and read along at the same time. So here at the top of the screen, you should see a little play button. So it looks like a little play button, a stop button, and the highlight button where we highlight the text. So I'm going to demonstrate here just very shortly. Now, I apologize if you have if you're having any internet connection issues. please remember that I am recording each class. So after I'm finished here today, you can always go back and watch the video again. And I'll also have a video specifically for your phone that you could use. But what I would like to do here, I'm going to go ahead and switch for just a moment so that we can hear. Okay, so guys, I'm going to turn on the sound for the audio. Okay. All right, so here's what I would like to do. Okay, now I'm going to mute everybody, okay, so that we don't hear everything. Okay. Okay.
Chapter 1. Dodson Hall. It is 1940, and the Germans are bombing the big cities in England. Sally Brown is 12 years old. She goes with some children from her school to stay in Norwich Village.
Okay, can everyone hear that?
Yes.
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 So you could hear the text reading? Okay, good.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've tried it on this computer, so I want to make sure it's working. Okay.
I cannot.
Okay. So now, Elaine, did you hear that, Elaine? I know we had trouble before.
Now I can hear you.
Okay, now do you remember to turn the volume up on your pad?
I can on already.
Yeah, try it again. Don't worry, Elaine. If you can't hear it, you'll hear it at home. Okay. Well, if you notice, guys, when I hit the play button, do you notice how the text is highlighted on the screen? So as you're listening, you can follow along and read the text at the same time. Now, you do not have to do that, but if you want to, I find it very helpful to listen while you're reading it. So that might be my first advice, is to use the play feature and listen to the story the first time. Now, I also want to demonstrate.
And the Germans are bombing the big cities in England.
Now, I'm not sure that, but if you click on any word or any phrase in the text, it will play that particular part of the text too. Let me zoom out just for a moment so we can see a little more of the page. Okay. So again, you can also use your mouse to click on any particular word or any particular sound there on the screen. Okay, so again, you can, if you see a word that maybe you don't know how to pronounce, you can always use the mouse to click on any particular part of the text, and it'll play the text for you. So again, if I click here, for example.
No, it's lonely and children are bored here.
So notice it just played that sentence. So if there's something in the sentence I want to repeat, over and over again, then I can click on just that sentence. And again, if you notice, if I want to move the page up and down, I can use the little slider if I'm using the computer. And actually, this is one of the nice things about using it on the phone, because on the phone, I can move it up and down with my finger, and I can zoom in and pinch and zoom with my fingers as well. Okay? All right, so once again, we've demonstrated that you can read along. Now, just to finish this particular part of the discussion, where it says highlight, I can turn off the highlight feature as well. And then I can just listen and try to follow along with my eyes. That might be a good way, too, to kind of practice while you're trying to listen. Now, but I want you to notice when I went back to the 2-page view, right, when I hit the little magnifying glass, see it over here on the right side? When I hit it, notice that when I go to the 2-page view, I can't see the play button. I have to kind of zoom in, and then the play button will appear here at the top. Okay? All right. Now, again, in this first class, I just wanted to take some time to introduce the reader, how to use the reader. Again, just to finish this part of the discussion, I can use the little arrows that you see on each side to go back and forth as you're listening to the story will just continue to change the page for you. So if you're listening to the story and you're following along, it will continue. So you don't have to use the arrow buttons to go back and forth. But if you're reading it, if you want to read it by yourself, if you want to say, Mr. John, I want to read faster, then you can try to read using just the arrow buttons and reading by yourself. Okay? Okay, so once again, it's called The Ghosts of Dodson Hall. Now, in this first class, I'm just introducing the idea because I would like for you, let me turn off the sound now. Okay, so I would like for you, there we go, to try this at home. So instead of us trying to read it here today, I think it's probably better if we try to read it by ourselves first, simply because it's sometimes difficult, depending on our internet connections, if we can follow the pages at the same time. What I will do is next week, when we want to talk about the story, we will kind of focus on different parts of the story. So the idea is I would like for you to try to read this story at home. And again, you can listen to it on the audio. You can follow along, or of course you can try to read it yourself. Okay. Now, finally, what I do want to mention is that with each story there are some activities. And again, when you see here on the table of contents, it just shows you the pages. But if you look over here on the right side, you will see it says activities. Okay. So, for example, for the reader, we have two different types of activities. We have activities for chapters 1 and 2, and then activities for chapters 3 and 4. Now, I am not going to ask you to do the activities for homework. I just want you to read the story, okay? Now, if you say, Mr. John, I am so excited, I want to do the activities, that's okay. You can. It's okay. I can't stop you. You can do the activities if you want to. But I'm just going to ask everybody to just read the story for next class. And that way, this will give you a chance to practice a little bit more with the Burlington English program. Okay? So I'm going to go back to the home screen one more time. And just to review, finally, kind of just again, a quick review. When we're using Burlington English, okay, so again, for our new students and for those of you who may have forgotten, this is what we call kind of the dashboard. Or sometimes the control panel. And you can see all of the different boxes that we use. Now, some of these are like, for example, the teacher zone. You're not going to see that because I'm the teacher, right? You're not the teacher. But the idea is most of the time we're going to be using the courses feature. And this, for these next couple of classes, we're going to be using the readers feature. But there are other activities that we're going to try to use a little bit more in this session. Okay, because I know sometimes students say, Mr. John, I want to do more activities. I'd like to practice more English. And some of you have been practicing a lot, and that's great. But again, the idea is each week when we have homework from the Burlington English app, I will include the link. So all you have to do is click on the link, and it will take you directly to the activity. Okay? Now, guys, before I leave this screen, what I would like for you to do right now is in the chat box, please tell me right now if you understand or not. So guys, in the chat box right now, could you please type, I understand? And if you don't understand, please type, I don't understand.